Hey there, fellow sports gamblers. It's Steel Picks for you with the 5 best NBA playoff prize picks and Underdog free picks for today, May 13th. Before we get into today's picks, let's see what happened to us yesterday. Rudy Gobert got a first quarter dunk to go over the 1.5 first quarter points we said he'd go over. Victor Wembanyama was 9 for 16 from the field to go under the 18.5 field goal attempts we said he'd go under. Then the weirdness happened. Jaden McDaniels decided to test the three-point range that he doesn't really actually have, going 3 for 7 from behind the three-point line, well above the 1.5 3.5 pointers we said he'd go under. Julius Randle chimed in with 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 1 assist to go over the 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists we said he'd go under by 0.5 point. And Naz Reid did not crash the boards the way we anticipated, ending the game with 5 rebounds under the 6.5 rebounds we said he'd go over. The playoffs have been wild the last 2 days, and 2 out of 5 is not good, but let's see if we can't put together an immaculate ticket for today. And once again, I am going to attempt to put on my Captain Obvious hat and see if we can't make some things happen. First up, we have Tobias Harris over 18.5 points. Why do I say this, fellow sports gamblers? Because he has done that in 8 of the 10 playoff games that he's played in. Only the first game, where he only had 16 points against Orlando, and the last game, game 4 at Cleveland, has he not gone over 18.5 points. Every other game, he has been over 20 points. High water mark being 30 in Game 7 against Orlando, so no reason with this series tied at 2-2 to think that he won't go back to Detroit and try and give it his best effort with regards to making this thing happen and getting back to Cleveland up 3-2 to try and close the series out. He's going to play a lot of minutes, as you can see. He's been averaging 36.2 minutes a game. Plenty of opportunities to take some shots with regards to field goals. The high water mark being Game 6 against Orlando. But if we just look at the 4 games with Cleveland, 14-16, 14-17, that factors out to about 16 field goal attempts a game. Been pretty good from three-point range. Been pretty accurate, at least in the Cleveland series. First game, he was only 1 for 5, but followed up with 2 for 3, 2 for 3, and 2 for 5. Roughly about 50% from three-point range. Free throws, wish he could get to the line just a little bit more. In game 1, he got there 8 times, making 7 of those. The other games, not so much, 2, 5, and 2. But certainly, anything is better than nothing. Certainly think that will contribute to his point output. And again, he's only missed this in game 1 of the playoffs. In the last game, every other game he's been over 20. I like the 18 over the 18.5 points. Novig likes as well, as they have him at minus 103. And staying on the Tobias Harris train, we're going to continue and say that he's going to chip in an extra 2.5 assists to go over 20.5 points and assists. Certainly think so. And as we can see, again, the only games that he has missed are games 1 and 3 of the Orlando series, has not missed that one time in the Cleveland series, and has not missed that one time in his last 7 playoff appearances. Not saying that the assists have been great, because they have done. He had 1 assist in game 5 against Orlando, no assists in game 6, 2 assists in game 7, but let's focus and concentrate on the Cleveland series. 1, 0, 0, each. 5 in game 4. Not bad. So certainly something to contribute there, but just in points alone, as you can see, he has been over this mark in his last 6 of his last 7 games. No reason to think that at home, with the series tied 2-2, wanting to go back to Cleveland up 3-2 to end it in Cleveland, that he will not be putting his best foot forward. I certainly think that with the matchup with the other power forwards, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for him to get to the free throw line. And let's just take a look at what's been going on there. With regards to minutes, we'll start with minutes first. He's been playing plenty of minutes, as we said before. Basically 36.5 minutes a game. Last game, 36.5 exactly. Definitely getting his minutes in the Cleveland series. With regards to the playoffs as a whole, he's been all over the place. Definitely getting in there. 3 points. Definitely getting that in as well. Free throws. Not so much, but I think he'll do better. I think he'll have more opportunity to get to the free throw line, considering that they're going to be playing the game pretty close, and that I'm not going to say that they have a favorite that the officials want to pull for, but would not be surprised if a lot of the calls go in Detroit's favor. Tobias Harris, over 20.5 points and assists. Next up, his teammate, Cavis LeVert, under 9.5 points and assists. Got to put my Captain Obvious hat on with this one. Look at what we're looking at here. When we're talking about the under 9.5 points and assists, he has not even gotten to half of that, only 2 times. One in game 2 against in game 2 where he had 8 points and 1 assist. Don't know what happened here in game 4. The 24 points, 3 assists, a complete outlier. Completely not what he's been capable of doing for the rest of the playoffs. And look at this in the middle. Game 7 against Orlando. Game 1 against Cleveland. Scored no points. 4 points. 5 points in game 4. 8 points in game 2 against Cleveland. This is not really a thing that he has been capable of doing in too many opportunities. So just the one time he's been able to do it. It was fairly recent. It was at home. He was certainly feeling himself, playing way over his skis. Do not think that that's an opportunity for him to do again. And let's look at some of the other stats and analytics with regards to backing us up. Look at this spike in minutes, 31.5 minutes. He had been averaging, 9, 12, 17. So we're talking about 15 minutes a game before that. Yeah, he went twice that to go over this one time. I'm just saying. Look at the rest of the playoffs, not doing it at all. This one game, I think that's a bit of an anomaly. I don't think that he'll be able to replicate that. In addition, we can go through these other stats. I mean, obviously, they're going to be off the charts in game 4. 16 attempts, 10 out of 16. But, over 1 in game 1, 3 for 5 game 2, 2 for 6. I mean, when he gets in there, he's, not really all that accurate. And with regards to free throws, you can see not getting to the free throw line 2 times being the high water mark. Not too scared of that. And in addition, please understand, Asura Thompson, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, they're coming for you, my friend. They're going to be playing lockdown defense, and I really don't think that you're going to get over 9.5 points and assists. And as you can see, Prizepicks likes this as well, as they have them at the -119. And as a friendly reminder, when you sign up with BETR using my promo code WINCASH, you'll receive 2 anytime tokens worth up to $100 each. Excuse me. And when you sign up with Novig and use my STEELEWINS promo code and spend $5, you'll get an additional $50 bonus, more money to spend on playoff prize picks to make money. Good luck, everyone. Next up, we have Donovan Mitchell, over 8.5 made field goals. Now, as you can see, there was a little bit of lull in games 2 through 4 against the Toronto series, but since game 5 of that series, in 6 straight games, he has made over 8.5 field goals. And in 4 of those 6 games, double digits. And let's not forget, fellow sports gamblers, in game 4, he tied the all-time second half points with 39. Absolutely killing him. It was a must-win game. I'm not going to say must-win. They weren't going to be eliminated if they didn't win the game, but certainly you want to go back to Detroit at 2-2, and Donovan Mitchell certainly made sure that he was a big part of making that happen, which he did. But for our intents and purposes, over 8.5 made field goals looks like a no-brainer. Has been in the double digits 4 of the last 6 games. Don't want to, extrapolate on that too much. I mean, the evidence and the stats analytics speaks for themselves. With regards to minutes, he's not going to be on a minute restriction unless he's in foul trouble. And let's take a look at that. Has not been in foul trouble in any game since game 3, and I'm not even really sure, fellow sports gamblers, if this could be considered foul trouble. It's just 4 fouls for the entire game. The rest of them, game 4, 1 foul. So that's not going to be a factor for us. He is going to have over 8.5 made field goals. Mark my words. Prizepicks likes it as well at the -119. I got the Captain Obvious hat on. I mean, when's the last time he hasn't done that? Let's just see what he can do. Pretty sure he's going to go over that. And last but not least, we have Max Strus. Over 5.5 rebounds and assists. For the playoffs, he has missed this exactly 1 time. Game 2, he only had a rebound and an assist. Not quite sure what happened in that game. He's been able to shake that off since then in games 3 and 4 with 5 and 2, and game 4 with 4 and 2. So certainly capable of doing that. The high water mark being game 7 against Toronto. Killed it with the 8 and the 5. Don't need him to do all that. Just need him to be himself. Get out there, hustle. Get your teammates open. When they're open, hit them with assists. When they miss shots, crash the boards. And what we can see is in the playoffs, he's only not done that 1 time. So no reason to think that he won't do that again in game 5 at Detroit. Minutes. What are we looking like? He's playing a pretty consistent amount of minutes, 30.8 being the high water mark in game 7 against Toronto. His last game, 27. And in every game against Detroit, he's played at least 27 minutes. This one, 26.5. We're just going to round that up to 27. He's been getting plenty of minutes to do so. As far as rebounds go, 2 offensive and 2 defensive in game 4. Crashing the boards on the defensive end in game 3. But all-around game, he's going to be able to come through with the 5.5 rebounds and assists. Sleeper, not crazy terrible with it, but the -147, they're not loving it. I love it, though. He's done this 9 out of 10 times, only the 1 time in game 2 being the anomaly. I think that he bounces back, understanding that he wants to go back to Cleveland up 3-2, and he's going to give his best effort to make sure they get there. Whether they do that or not, not convinced on that, but it won't be for lack of effort from Max Strus, in my opinion. So let's see what he can do. So to recap, we have Tobias Harris over 18.5 points. Tobias Harris over 20.5 points and assists. Caris LeVert under 9.5 points and assists. Donovan Mitchell over 8.5 field goals made. And Max Strus over 5.5 rebounds and assists. And in addition, my 3-leg parlay is all about Tobias once again. Tobias over 18.5 points. Tobias over 20.5 points and assists. And we'll throw in Caris LeVert under 9.5 points and assists. That's the 5 picks I have for you today. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the Steel Picks for You channel. And good luck, everyone.